Happy New Year. I mean, wait, no, shit.
Happy birthday?
Happy crit. No.
Merry Kwanzaa.
I know there's
Happy
something coming up.
Valen.
No, that doesn't sound right. Josh, you're married. What's coming up?
What's
Balance.
coming up?
There's a holiday coming up. I know.
National Pop-Tart Day.
That's got to be it. All right. Happy National Pop-Tart Day, everybody, and welcome to the Geek Matrix. My name is Rob, and you've heard their voices. It's Josh and Brandon. Sound off, folks.
Hello,
Woo-hoo!
hello.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Yeah, I kid. I don't give a shit about National Pop-Tart Day. Well, I don't know. I guess a little Pop-Tarts are okay once in a while, but it's Valentine's Day coming up next week. So I hope all y'all have some plans set for your significant other. Josh, you got dinner date planned?
Oh goodness. For Valentine's Day, I don't take Holly out. I cook.
Okay.
I'm actually
Big
like
man.
low key, really, really good in the kitchen. So I'll do like
Right
a
on.
full 5-course dinner and dessert and go all out on that.
Nice.
See, I cook, so invariably I have to go out for Valentine's Day.
You can always learn, but
That's what I did, dude.
Yeah.
I tell you what, the very first thing, I'm not making this up either. The very first fucking thing that I ever made was macaroni and cheese. And my parents were shit, so they did not teach me anything when it came to cooking. But so I was in a hurry. I knew that my mom would be back soon. So I guess I'm going to blame the half-ass reading of the directions on that. But the first time that I made macaroni and cheese, I attempted to use 14 cups of butter instead of 1/4 cup
God.
of
oh
butter.
my god, that's some
It's
slimy
absurd.
macaroni.
I mean,
It's
just
more butter than macaroni.
just
how
so
many?
everybody's aware that there is not 14 cups of butter in the country crock tub.
I was gonna say how many tubs did you use?
Yeah.
No, there was only the one in the fridge, and I got through all of it, and I'm like, what the hell? And then I reread the directions. In the meantime, I had butter soup with noodles in it.
that pot must have been full of melted butter.
Oh, it was so bad.
Yeah.
It was so bad. I did eat it, but it was so bad.
Oh God.
Ugh.
Your heart, your poor heart.
Maybe that's what happened last week.
Yeah.
Maybe.
The macaroni
Like the
came back
residual
to haunt
effects.
me.
Macaroni and butter you ate 20 years ago
Yeah.
just came back and bit you in the ass.
Like Clayface, it slowly came to life.
Oh,
like
God.
Jesus.
That's my biggest fear. That something I ate a while ago is still sitting inside my body. Like, I probably
Like
shouldn't tell
all
the
that
story.
bubble gum.
I know I probably shouldn't tell the story on the air, but there was a time where I accidentally swallowed one of those small Lego hands, and I
Yeah.
lived,
Oh my
like
God.
for 2 years. I lived in fear that it was just sitting in my throat, like stuck to the walls of my throat. So I would constantly, every time I
Grabbing
thought, like,
on for dear
I know.
life.
I know every time I thought I had like something in my throat, I was like, is it the hand? Is it, am I gonna die? Is it gonna happen?
Is it the claw?
Yeah.
That reminds me of a story from my childhood. I was in third, maybe fourth grade, and we were running. It was like recess. We were running through the schoolyard, and a fly flew into my nostril.
Oh, that's the worst.
Oh,
But
that's horrible.
I never saw it come out, and I never felt it come out. So my mind, my like
Oh,
8-year-old
you ate
mind
that, homie.
Yeah,
was
you
convinced
swallowed that
it
fucker.
flew through in my nostril and down my throat. Even though I didn't feel any of that, I just convinced myself, and I was convinced it was still flying around in my stomach.
No.
For years.
Oh, man.
Oh,
It's
no.
Because
there
I
somewhere.
didn't
no.
understand stomach acids yet.
Riding 4-wheelers and motorcycles, I've swallowed my fair share of bugs. I knew
Yeah.
what was going on.
Yeah.
I don't have any of those weird entering my body stories, but I do know just from being told from the family that at one time I did take an M&M and shove it up my dad's nose. He had to go to the hospital.
Ugh.
Holy shit.
Couldn't get it out.
That sucks.
Yep, for him. I don't remember it, so there's no guilt.
Okay, well, that's all fun and games being said.
Now
Before
you
the
know
show-
we're lovely people. If you didn't know that,
Right.
Yeah, we have things shoved in all sorts of orifices, whether it's our own or someone else's. Right, before we started recording, and we figured we should talk about it while recording, we were talking about Future State, because
Future's End.
Future's End.
Future's
The
End.
other
I keep-
Future State.
I keep
basically.
making that mistake. Yeah.
Right.
We were talking about Future's End, that hit event 52 issue event from 2014.
Yeah, I would call it a
Remember
52
correctly?
issue event and not a hit event.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
again,
was it a hit?
I
don't know.
loved it. I still loved it. I thought it was a hit. It wasn't like top tier, but I thought it was really good.
There were a lot of stories in it that were at least decent. I think
Yeah.
people just didn't like to see the things that they didn't expect to see.
I think it was
And
just too much
honestly-
going on, which is why I could never finish the story, because right from the jump, it's like you have
Chaos.
the Firestorm plot, and you have the Terry McGinnis in the past plot, and there's also this subplot about Tim Drake and Green Arrow and all this stuff, and it's like, this is like the first 15 issues. What the fuck?
Yeah,
It just started.
yeah. I honestly only remember. I remember there being a lot of stuff happening, but I only remember the Terry McGinnis story.
Mm.
But that's what I was invested in, because I love Batman Beyond.
Mm.
If only the series that came out of it was much better.
Well,
That's
the
it.
new one we've got is
Oh yeah,
Mm.
the new one that we've got definitely is.
yeah. Which I can't wait for them to announce the third chapter. Whatever it might
Soon,
be.
I'm sure.
It's Batman Beyond Neo something. That's for damn sure. We never really talked about Neo Gothic #6, did we?
I don't
did.
think so. No,
I mean, in
Maybe-
the honorable mentions, but we didn't
Yeah.
throw down on it.
Yeah, I never really. I only read it like a couple of weeks ago because I just forgot. But yeah, that was a hell of an ending. Like Terry's identity is now known to basically the world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody knows it.
yeah, which was kind of
what-
fucked.
Mhm.
Went full Bendis Clark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it took me a second to realize what you meant. Bendis Clark. Yeah. So the third series, the third 6-issue series, whenever that is announced and comes out, I think it's going to be a doozy. It's going to be fucking good.
It has to be. It
Yeah,
has to be. Otherwise, don't do it, because Neo Gothic was just. I mean, that was probably. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna say it. That was the best Batman Beyond story I've ever read.
I can agree. Though to be fair, I haven't read every single Batman Beyond comic, but I can definitely agree for the ones I have read. It's the best.
It's really good.
Yeah.
We had some really good comics this entire week.
Oh yeah, we did.
Mhm.
You want to give us the ones we're not covering, Josh?
Oh, yeah, I can do that. There were a number of them. First, let me get this out of the way. Number one, Thundercats #1 came out. It was everything I hoped it to be and more. I read it twice. For anybody at all, and I'm begging you guys, please go out there and get this. Get into it. I the way that it's written, obviously, he's a Thundercat fan, 100%, and I cannot wait for issue #2 because they're doing it so well.
Who's writing it?
So well. Oh, and now I knew you were going to ask me that.
So when you say he's a Thundercat fan, I assumed you meant the writer.
I did, and then I forgot who it was that's writing it. So
I think it's Declan Shalvey. I haven't read it.
It is
I've seen all the
Declan Shalvey.
announcements.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
right. Yeah.
yeah, it is. Okay, thanks, Brandon.
Right on.
But it's so good. And then leading up to the honorable mentions, my dreamt up Red Hood Hill mini. It's coming. I couldn't remember who the artist was. I couldn't remember who the artist was, but I thought it was Yasmin Putri. It's definitely not. It's Sanford Green and Tony Akins. But guys, I mean, Sanford Green and Yasmin Putri have some similar art styles. If you look up the cover for
That
Civil
is
War II,
not true. What?
look, hold on, because
Gotta look this up.
hold
Gotta
on.
look this up.
Look up the cover for Power Man and Iron Fist #7 from Civil War II.
I
And
know
then
what
look
that
up-
is. I know.
And then look up Yasmin Putri's Venomized Gwenpool.
I also know
Okay,
what that is, and I don't see it at all.
You don't see the same between those two
No.
covers? I see.
No.
I said it's kind of similar. I didn't say they were exactly the same.
That's always like, what? What did you just say?
Dude, they are way off still.
It's what?
Yasmin Putri has more of like a watercolor flavor to her.
That's me
style.
being like the next artist for Avengers. I thought was going to be Cliff Chong, but it actually turned out to be Brian Hitch. But if you compare them, they're kind of similar.
Oh, come on. It wasn't that big of a difference. All right. But in any case, so we had Red Hood the Hill #0 coming out. That's a reprint of 51 and 52. And for the mini coming up, I do suggest you grab that or just reread 51 and 52. Because if my dream was right, that mini is going to be awesome, even if it wasn't Yasmin Pucci. Anyway, next up, Fire and Ice, Welcome to Smallville #6. Nice little wrap up with a crazy title that ends with a pretty good villain and cooey cooey cooey. I enjoyed it, and it was good. It was fun. 7.75 out of 10. Suicide Squad Kill Arkham Asylum #1. So for something that is more than obviously a video game tie-in, issue #1 is freaking fantastic. I'm looking forward to issue #2. Hell yeah. I thought this was great. 8.5 out of 10. Kneel Before Zod #2. It's issue 2. And it lets me know that issue 3 might be interesting because of the ending in issue 2. But I myself, I haven't been able to get into it much. Hopefully issue 3 changes that. It's been a little bit better than average with some good art. So I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. Superman 78, The Metal Curtain #4. I don't even know how to say this anymore. Reading Superman 78, last run or this one, every single arc, I could see Christopher Reeve playing this on the screen. It's that good. I love this title, and this issue is no different. 8 out of 10. How to Lose a Guy Gardner in 10 Days #1. Guy Gardner, Red Tornado, Booster Gold, Barry Allen, Constantine, Plastic Man, Wonder Woman, Nightwing, and Batgirl are all in DC's Valentine's anthology book. It's not bad for the deal that it is. If you dig them, grab it up. This one's pretty decent. With a little bit of Scooby-Doo art, I would say. In the Booster story, I enjoyed that. And, speaking of which, there were 2 Scooby-Doo books that came out. Where Are You? And Batman and Scooby-Doo Mysteries. And those are all the honorables worth mentioning.
Speaking of mentioning, can I mention that currently, and I could be wrong, I have to still double check my source here, but I was looking up on DC.com subscriptions, and I found that I think currently there's more Scooby-Doo books than most DC characters that have multiple books.
Yeah, there's a lot of Scoobies.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. You'd think Scooby would really only have one. But some
you would think, but nah, you gotta have. There's got to be Scooby books going on.
Yeah,
there's got to be.
Well, to also bounce off your announcement about Thundercats #1, another #1 that came out this week from another publisher.
I know what you're gonna say.
Because I mentioned it this morning. Ultimate Black Panther #1. And it was.
I've been waiting since Monday. I don't want to say anything because I got it a little early. Yeah. But I read this on Monday night and I fucking lost it because this book was so good.
It's so good. The Ultimate Universe is looking bright.
Yes.
Josh, I know I've been pushing you to read Fantastic Four, which also came out this week and was also fantastic. But if you haven't checked out the Ultimate Universe, you need to check out this current Ultimate Universe.
At the very least, just read Ultimate Spider-Man and Ultimate Black Panther because they're both
just started. It's very easy. There's only one issue of each of those books so far.
Mhm.
Spider-Man,
don't-
Black Panther.
Yeah, there's only one issue
Okay.
each, and then you're gonna have Ultimate X-Men drawn and written by Peach Momoko. And I know how much you love
shut
Peach
up.
Momoko. Yeah.
Mhm.
X-Men.
So X-Men, Ultimate X-Men, starring the lead character is Armor.
All right.
I don't know if you know Armor.
Yes. And Storm
I'm
is in
sold.
Ultimate Black Panther. Well, not by
Yeah,
name
well,
yet,
that
yeah.
was a bit of a surprise, but
Yeah.
yes,
I kind of
Storm
knew
was
because of the
hinted
solicits,
at
but
Ultimate
like
Black Panther. Yeah,
I really like what they're doing. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
It was a hell of a twist when she showed up. It was
Yeah.
kind of
Peach
awesome.
Momoko on X-Men.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check that out.
It's the whole X-Men, like all the art we've seen, Ultimate X-Men is just it's all watercolor, it's all gorgeous.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
fantastic.
she is like
Really good.
I mean, yeah, I'm trying to that sure, really good. I'll have
Really
to do
good.
because
Yeah.
I can't come. She's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I was gonna say
And she
might
don't
be your
work at
favorite.
DC.
No, which is even more surprising. I think
Mm.
you only fell in love with her because of Marvel Snap. if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
Marvel
Yeah.
Snap
Oh,
introduced
really?
me to. I'm like,
Yeah.
yep.
Wow.
I'm like, who in the hell is Peach Momoko?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a Mystique card that I had seen drawn, and I was
Mhm.
like, oh my goodness, who is this?
Mm.
So I just went on Google, and yeah, hardcore dude, big Momoko, Peach Momoko fan.
Yeah.
So there you go. You
She's,
got Ultimate
she's
X-Men to
pretty
look
popular.
forward to. Ultimate Black Panther and Ultimate Spider-Man, both amazing. So Josh, please read them because Brandon and I are in love.
All right, I'll have to do that. I'll have to do that.
And I don't remember correctly, but if I do remember correctly, Brandon is like Kirk, was not a huge lover of the Ultimate Universe prior.
It had well, actually, I don't know.
Ups and downs.
It had things that I really liked and had things that I didn't really like.
Yeah.
I'm of all things, and we seem to have lost Josh just as we're ramping up the conversation because he doesn't want to talk about the Ultimate Universe anymore. But I was, believe it or not, a fan of the original 2 series from Mark Millar and Brian Hitch. I know, shocker.
Spider-Man and X-Men, right?
Yeah. Well, no,
Yeah.
the just the Ultimate series.
Like Ultimate. Okay.
Yeah, I still actually really like those series, despite
the first 2 were really
flaws.
good.
Yeah.
Ultimates 3 is when it really went off the rails.
Ultimates. Well, I figured you would be defending that one because you like Ultimatum, but
I like Ultimatum, but the fact that it spun out of Ultimates, like it had to spin out of Ultimates 3, and things in Ultimates 3 had to happen for Ultimatum to exist. But the beginning of Ultimates 3 was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Why would you have
pain.
Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch?
Let's not talk about that. Okay. Let's not do that here.
Just for Josh, if you don't know Josh, they were in an incestual relationship.
What the fuck? Oh,
and then Scarlet Witch got murdered.
Jeff Loeb.
Jeff.
I like Jeff Loeb.
Yeah.
I like Jeff Loeb too.
generally.
He just likes to watch. He just likes to.
Well,
I mean, if you think about it, he likes to write weird shit.
In his defense, I think his son had died at that time, so he's in a really depressive. That's not excusing incest. I'm just saying a lot of people have cited
I don't understand
that,
the correlation.
I know. It's like a lot of people have pointed out that like there was a huge shift after 2005 when his son died and his stuff got kind of needlessly dark. And it was like that's why you get Ultimatum where everyone dies and everyone is a horrible person and it's just depresso.
Fuck everybody.
But no, there's some stuff in the Ultimate Universe that I really liked, and despite all the flaws of Ultimatum, it did eventually lead us to the Ultimates run by Jonathan Hickman. So
yeah,
I guess we got something out of it. But
Divided We Fall and everything post that was somewhat interesting.
Yeah. I think the start of the relaunched Ultimate X-Men by Nick Spencer was good, and then Brian.
That's when Kitty took over the lead. And they were like stuck in the desert.
And I liked that. Yeah. And then Brian Wood took over, and it went to shit. Everything flopped. As soon as the original, because they did like the Ultimate Comics relaunch, and they brought in a bunch of new talent, and all the people that got replaced on the titles just like it went to shit. Like that's That's what I've noticed. Like Ultimates, Hickman got replaced by Sam Humphries. That went to shit. Ultimate X-Men, Spencer got replaced by Brian Wood. That went to shit. The only one who didn't get replaced was Bendis, and I mean, it stayed pretty consistent for the most part.
Yeah, like his Ultimate Spider-Man pretty much throughout was fairly good.
Yeah,
I would say, even during the clone arc, that was surprisingly a good arc. My favorite part of the prior Ultimate Universe, and I am curious if they're going to delve into that again going forward, was what happened to the Fantastic Four. Like post Ultimatum, where Reed became the Maker, he became evil. Johnny joined the X-Men.
Yes.
And Sue
Ben
and Ben
died.
became Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, wait. No, I thought, didn't Ben
what?
die? Or am I tripping?
He died later on, I think.
Yeah.
But if you remember, he started to go through a metamorphosis. Like it was explained that his powers were still evolving. And then at one point, his rocks started falling off, and he had Wonder Man's powers.
Yeah. Because I remember
him and Sue were Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and they were in a relationship at that point.
Because I thought there was some point where Sue had joined like the Ultimates right before the Ultimate line.
Yeah.
It was like
I think that's what happened. Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
It was weird, but it was actually really compelling.
Yeah. I think that was the thing about what made some elements of the original Ultimate Universe work, where it was like, okay, we kind of already know what the established characters look like. Let's kind of twist it in a little way, put them in different scenarios and see how it works. And I liked some versions of that. Other versions, it was like too weird, too far, too bizarre, but some worked.
I feel like way back in the day, I read an arc or a book, or maybe it was a what if or something called Whatever Happened to the Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah, that's a classic story.
Okay,
I don't remember where from, but I know it's.
Wanted to make sure I wasn't imagining that shit.
Shit, what is it even a classic? Hang on,
let
me do a quick search here.
I know there's the last Fantastic Four story by Stanley and John Romita Jr. But
that's the current story, Josh. The Ryan
happened to the Fantastic Four?
That's the first arc in the current run.
Okay, well then that's where I got it from. All right.
Okay. That's what the title of the first trade is called anyway. Yeah. And it's still fucking amazing.
Sweet.
But so my last thing I'll bring up, one of my favorite parts about Ultimate Comics post Ultimatum is Divided We Fall started with an actual civil war in the United States, that there was rogue elements and rogue states, and they wanted to secede and make their own country, very much the Civil War. And if you remember Marvel Comics Civil War in the 2000s, how did that end? With Captain America getting shot and killed, right?
Yes.
Well, in
Captain America, but not in Civil War. But
in Divided We Fall, it ended with Captain America being elected president of the United States and bringing everyone peace. Which I thought was wild.
Yeah.
Also, his inauguration speech was in front of the Triskelion, and then he finished it by running off to a jet and said, "I'm off to my office, which is America." It was cheesy, but I ate that shit up.
You guys ever notice that? Think back to the first Avengers film. Or not first Avengers film. You said Civil War. All right. So at the end of it, where we see Captain America old as dirt.
You
remember that?
His what?
When Captain America is super old.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know who you remember what I'm talking, sitting on their park bench and everything?
Yeah. At the end of Endgame.
Look back. Yeah. All right. Doesn't he look like Joe Biden?
Oh,
I need you guys to go back and look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
You're right.
I think that's not a hard look to pull off. You just like need wrinkly looking old white persons with white hair. Slightly receding hairline.
Like, Joe Biden does kind of fit the bill. Like when you think of old, like senior citizen, patriotic American male, you picture Joe Biden.
Someone like that.
Yeah. But Josh, you're not wrong. Like that's
he does, doesn't he?
oddly striking.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Oh man, speaking of oddly striking, art by Leonardo Romero.
Well,
before I jump into that,
before you
I
pop
want to
into
say
that,
you guys are asking me to read 3 comic books, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it, but I need you two to read 1.
well, if I'm going to do that, then I also need you to read another one, which was not only going to be my recommendation for this week, but also a way to segue into the next book before I was so rudely interrupted. Last issue of The Cull came out this week, which is a book by none other than Kelly Thompson, the author of the Birds of Prey book we're going to talk about. Whoa, crazy coincidence. But it was a 5-issue series from Image. Josh, you need to look at the artwork for this because you're going to lose your mind. It's incredible. It's by Mattia De Ulis, who I guess also did like a Jessica Jones miniseries with Kelly Thompson, and it's like some of the best rendered digital artwork you've seen.
What's it called?
The Cull, but the miniseries just wrapped up this week, so it's finished. So you don't have to worry about waiting for any more issues. But it's like
that's even better.
One of the best endings I've read in a while, an ending that was so good that it literally made me like rethink the entire series because I'd kind of been been enjoying it, but I was like, yeah, this is fun, but I don't know, like I need something else. But the ending was like, oh, and it just makes you hungry for more. So firmly recommend The Cull, firmly recommend Kelly Thompson, GOAT.
Am I insane? Does this artwork remind you guys of Paper Girls?
A little bit.
Are you fucking with me?
hey! Now, come on. My memory is a little faulty. I'm just something I'm trying to remember.
Like I get where you're coming with this.
I think I do, but it's just like I know Cliff Chung. It does not look like that. That's what I'm like. Are you playing?
How am I the cause of him bringing Cliff Chung? Are you
playing pranks on me?
It's very reminiscent of something that I have seen, and I want to say within the last few years.
Saga.
Oh, 100%.
It reminds me of
fucking Saga. Yes,
kind of Fiona Staples.
What's kind of Fiona Staples? Yeah.
Yep. There we go. Mission
Fiona
solved.
Staples is the missing link between the artist on The Cull and Cliff Chang.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Conversation derailed. And you get back over to Brandon.
But speaking of, yes, Kelly Thompson and Birds of Prey and great endings, although that's to be determined. I may have already given it away. This is Birds of Prey number 6, written, of course, by Kelly Thompson with art by Leonardo Romero. You already heard Josh say that, so why am I saying it twice? Colors from Jordi Belair and letters from Clayton Cowles. This is part 6 of Megadeth, the ending of this arc. And our issue starts with Sin seemingly freed of the control and capture of Megara, waking up alongside a recently recovered Black Canary as they're both regaining their senses, seemingly after some battle that we didn't get to see. She claims, Sin that is, claims to be fine, but Zealot, appearing out of nowhere, is like, that is obviously not true, and has a sword, at her neck, insisting that Megara has control of Sin and is merely posing as Sin. And that's when we get a brief flash that Megara actually is hiding inside this whole time.
And tell me Megara doesn't sound like the villain in an 80s Saturday morning cartoon.
Kind of.
Megara.
I would say that, but Megara has such a sassy attitude that it doesn't quite fit the bill of your 80s cartoon
just
villain.
The name, anyway. Just the name.
Wait.
Megara.
Kind of has the attitude of the villain in the two villains. If you mix the old crone with Kronk, this is the villain in The Embers Who Grew.
God, what's her name again?
I can't remember what her name is, but I know.
Oh, Yzma. Yeah. It's Yzma, right?
Yzma.
Yeah, that's it.
It was like, oh
my god. I know that voice anywhere. I forget the actress who plays Yzma.
Pull the lever, Kron.
Yes. Oh my god. Oh man, I gotta watch that movie again. Anyway, so back to Megara, who is being threatened by Zealot, and Dinah starts freaking out because she realizes that this kill squad that she has assembled is actually capable of being a fucking kill squad and could easily drop Sin / Megara in a second, which they do, or rather, Zealot does, causing Dinah to panic, but only for a moment as we realize that Sin is not actually dead and that Megara apparently will not let her die that easily. So their next plan of attack is just to try and get Megara inside the urn, and hopefully that will be able to trap her before she fully possesses Sin. Meanwhile, Sin and Megara are having a little back and forth regarding whether or not Sin could actually live, with Megara being a host inside of her, or Sin being a host of Megara, and Sin obviously at first rejecting that choice and then eventually realizing she may have to come to some kind of agreement. But the birds are able to force open the urn, and it's doing its best to suck in Megara, although it's getting more and more unstable as they're progressively drawing Megara in closer and closer. But eventually they're able to get what appears to be enough of Megara inside, although not without a sufficient amount of fight. And Sin is able to survive the encounter, though it's very clear that there is a part of Megara still dwelling within her, as Wonder Woman is able to put the lasso around her and reveal that even though Megara is under the control of Sin, she's still very much a part of Sin, and will remain bonded to her for the foreseeable future. So even though the birds are able to make it back home thanks to Barda's boom tube, and by all accounts the mission seems to be a success as they were able to rescue Sin, Dinah still regards the mission as kind of a failure now that Sin is permanently bonded to Megara. So she goes to the rooftop now that they're back in Gotham City or Star City, wherever this is. And is brooding. Yeah, I think Gotham. But is brooding for a little bit now that she knows Sin has to live with the burden of having Megara inside her, which is, of course, the perfect time for her old friend Barbara Gordon, wearing her Batgirl attire, to show up and give her shit for not inviting her on the mission, which she's clearly very upset about. Shortly after that unfortunate discussion, Meridian arrives and reveals that the reason that Barbara was not allowed to come on the mission after Dinah kind of presses her about it is that the possible future that Meridian went to, Barbara always dies, and it seems to be the case in this mission. So even though they were able to rescue Sin this time and she was possessed by Megara, Barbara did not die in this situation, and it seems to be for the best, even if she's very upset about it. But this gives Dinah an idea to ensure that Barbara will not die in any future missions, because they're friends, obviously. You know, she doesn't want someone she cares about to die. And that's when Cass arrives, having been eavesdropping the whole time. And Dinah reveals that in order to make sure that Barbara does not die and that she can protect the ones that she loves, they're going to have to put together a new team. We already know what that means. Whole new Birds of Prey.
New Birds of Prey.
Shit. Yeah, no, this if the tone of my voice didn't make it clear, this issue was awesome. I think I literally said, like, in our Discord chat, oh yeah, Birds of Prey #6 was the shit, or something like that. But no, I love
very
this.
Close to that.
Something like that. No, I've been having a lot of fun with the series, and I thought this was just a great way to bring it to a satisfying conclusion with perfect setup for the next arc, which, as we've discussed already plenty of times, that there, I think Kelly Thompson said something like there were going to be new teams throughout the book or something like that. That
one team you told us that, or you told me that.
Oh yeah, well I think it was Rob who mentioned it originally, and then we just kind of talked about it.
It's so good.
But now we will start to get an indication, at least in the next issue, for who may be on this next lineup of the Birds of Prey. But as for this lineup, this was great. And I don't know, feel free to kick me for saying this, but
okay,
I don't know. I'm gonna say it. I think this arc might be a classic. I know. Shocker, but like
That is surprising.
I seriously like. There's a lot of stuff to dissect about this, and it'll be a while before I can fully go back to it with fresh eyes and go through it again. But coming away from this one, I was like, there's something really special about this book, and I think if it is able to stick around for a while, this first arc is going to be something really significant for DC fans in the future. Might even be one of those arcs that people are talking about when they talk about their favorite Birds of Prey stuff. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass. Who knows? But I thought this was a great ending, and I thought this is a clear indication that this book is something different. So I gave it a 9 out of 10. I really loved it.
Man, Brandon, you say you think it might be an instant classic, basically, and I didn't put those words together, but I think you might be right. You can't put the monster dwelling.
Sometimes you read something and you just kind of know, like, there's something about this book that's special. I can feel it.
There is, and more than not being able to put the monster dwelling inside of your surrogate adopted sister back in the jar.
It happens.
It happens. Since sticking around, we've got no idea what Madera can do. So I'm certain we'll be seeing more of her, probably in a big way, whatever that story might be. Could be the next one. Sin could very well be on the team because she's going to be sticking around. And we've got a Cable situation going on here, time traveling to murder somebody in the past. Or was that Bishop? Anyway.
You got two X-Men characters for that.
Yeah. Good deal. So both of them are right. I like
Basically,
that.
Yeah.
Will Cass and Dinah bring her in on this? Will they bring in Sin? Will they bring in Barbara? I doubt it, but I'm dying to know what the next team is going to look like. Who's going to be on it? Does a new team mean a new artist? Are we going to see different changes like that? I got loads of questions, but those are all questions going forward. As far as the issue goes, the entire arc, I feel like it was really good. It was pretty big story for the Birds of Prey, and I had a hell of a time reading it. It was fun, nice to look at, and all the characters were written really well. You kind of can't ask more in a comic book when you're getting a good story, and I really like the wrap up on top of all of that. And while we're all fans of the Birds of Prey, whatever that team looks like when it comes together, this was just done fantastic in every single issue. It was a whole solid arc. There were no filler issues. Every single character, even as wildly different as they are, was just done so well. Brandon,
especially
really, yes. And Barda was done phenomenally.
I figured you and I would really like click with that one, being the Wildcats nerds that we are.
Yep.
But Zealot was probably my favorite, and Zealot and Dinah.
100%. All of it was just so good, and I gave it a 9.25 out of 10.
Oh wow, yeah. No, this was great. This was really great.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say just yet that it's an instant classic, but I can definitely see where that can be a reality. I'm not saying it's bad. It's really good. I want to see where it goes in a few issues or in a few story arcs to see if it can become that classic. You know,
well, I mean, I'm speaking specifically of this arc, but
I
see where it goes.
It'll be interesting to see where the rest of the book goes.
Like as far as this arc, if it was this arc by itself, I wouldn't agree that it's a classic. It was really good, but I wouldn't say that this is an arc that people are going to be talking about 10, 20 years from now. Maybe 5, but not 2 decades.
I'm going to wait 20 years from now, and I'm going to say ha when they're printing the 15th anniversary edition of this. 15th anniversary edition of Megadeth. I'm going to be like, ha, told you. Give me money.
Give me
bet on this.
How much?
Give me money.
But like, I think it could definitely be that way if the whole book ends up being just stellar, and I think we definitely have a chance at that being a reality. Because this opening arc was really fucking good. It was a hell of a team. It actually, like, while it made you guys really reminiscent of Wildcats and certain characters in here, there was a panel in here that made me reminiscent of Morrison's JLA. Seeing Diana and Barda together holding the jar, I was like, oh my god, like that's. I know they didn't get along too well, but they were the only women on the team at the time, and they were both warriors.
Yeah.
And that was really cool.
I guess a little bit of Huntress, but she was more teaming up with Batman whenever they had missions or something.
And the last JLA story from Morrison that I read with Huntress in it, she got kicked off the team. So I don't even really count her to a certain degree.
She pitched in during DC 1 million, so you know what? She did something. It was her idea that saved the day.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't think I didn't even read JLA during 1 million. I only read like certain issues.
Yeah, well, it's just the DC 1 million miniseries.
Yeah. Hold on a second.
I didn't read
the only one. I read every 1 million issue.
You might be the only one. At least the only one here.
Definitely not every time. There's somewhere I was like, I don't give a fuck. Or it was like,
I skimmed like the wiki for the miniseries, but I read like certain issues of tie-ins.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you read the Green Lantern 1 million issue. We can cross that off the list.
Twice.
Yeah. As
once, and then a second time because I forgot I read it.
I think I might have a problem. I mean, I even read all of Young Heroes in Love. I mean,
you were just obsessed, man. You were very dedicated.
Hey, as we covered, we have our tastes. Each of us will have books that everybody else thinks is shit. Like me with Ultimatum and Future's End. All right, yeah. I will defend those books. I will die on that hill, but I'm the only one there, and I'm okay with that. Brandon will attest. He can prove that for me. So there's no problem. If I'm not saying DC 1 million was bad, I just never got around to reading all of it.
Damn. You know what? Sorry, we're gonna get off track, so I shouldn't even bring this.
We already have.
You just gave me a great idea for a comic question of the day, which is what is a comic that everyone hates that you love that you will die on a hill for?
That's a good comic question of the day.
Yeah.
Oh,
so listeners, viewers,
I'll have to write that one down.
Yeah, viewers and listeners, tweet it at us, put it in comments, get on our Discord and talk to us about it, because Brendan, if you don't mind posting that on the Discord.
Oh yeah, now I'm gonna write that down.
At very least what Kirk says, because I'm very curious. I already have my answer.
Wow, I have a recent answer, which I still fight for to this day, which is Morrison's The Green Lantern. And everyone's like, that book is shit. That's when I stopped reading Green Lantern, and I was like, no, you don't understand. You don't get it.
Kind of funny that during the run of that book, the Lantern community was very apprehensive about it. But now, years later, especially after Jeffrey Thorne's run, it's viewed a lot better.
Oh man,
the Lantern community actually, like, for the most part, appreciates Morrison's run now. So
we really come full circle. It's beautiful.
It just took some time. You have something has to be gone for you to truly appreciate how good it was. Right. So, Birds of Prey, though. Yeah, honestly, really good opening arc. Art was fantastic. It did get me hooked, and I can't wait to see what happens next. And I do happen to know a spoiler about a certain member that will join the team in a future issue.
Ooh. I have not looked at the solicits for this series, so even I don't know.
That's exactly where I found it. Do you want to know?
No.
Okay, I won't tell you.
I can't be certain, but I think mine might be Deceased Unkillables #3.
Oh, I thought you were gonna talk. I thought you were gonna say like a Birds of Prey member.
No. The comic book that I will fight about being awesome.
But people didn't hate that though, did they?
I mean, there's a lot of hate for deceased out there. You're sitting right next to one person.
I mean, I don't hate it. I just
Yeah, I think a lot of people think it just went on too long. I think,
yeah, the gimmick got old,
and a lot of the people that hate on the whole thing just hate Tom Taylor in general.
I hate Tom Taylor because he killed my dog. That's why.
But Crypto
No, that was Tom King.
Yeah, no, he came all the way from Australia to murder my dog, and then he left me a note that said, "This is for what you said about Superman, son of El, you fucking asshole." And then I never saw him again.
I thought you were gonna say he killed your dog and then left you a note that said dinner's in the fridge.
Oh my god!
Oh,
that's too far. Oh.
Damn.
If he killed my dog, I don't even want to know what's in the fridge, okay? I'm not even going to look. I'll let the police sort it out.
Poor Kyle.
Yeah. Did I tell you guys, I found out a couple weeks ago that the page we got is actually the PG version.
Oh.
Of Alex in the fridge. Initially,
release the Banks cut.
The page
the explicit version.
The initial page was the fridge door completely open and she was like cut up and dismembered. Yeah. But that's why like now the fridge door is just closed over a little bit and that's why you only see a foot. And it just makes you believe that she was just stuffed in there. Yeah. But like it's so much worse.
maybe that would have been a little too extreme for
especially for the 90s or even for the 90s, I mean to say. It was a little early yet. But
yep,
if Jeff Loeb was writing it, would have happened for sure.
Oh yeah. If Jeff Loeb was writing it, Major Force probably would have eaten Alexandra. It would have been horrifying, and you would have had to watch it. You would have had to read it,
and he would have said,
"Would have been shaking there with her brother."
You know it's true.
There's two sides to Jeff Loeb. There's Ultimatum. And there's Incredible Hulk.
So
there's no in between.
Halloween.
Yeah.
You have Blah beating the Wasp, or you have Red Hulk making jokes. Like there's no in between.
No.
Then there's the Long Halloween,
which I guess is like a mix between the two, but
okay,
not
so
quite
there's
as
one
graphic.
In between.
There's one. Not quite as graphic as Ultimatum. Thank God.
Yeah.
No. Speaking of the Long Halloween, we should probably move along with the show.
Yes. So no more. Yeah, my score 9 out of 10. Sorry.
All right.
I will stop derailing shit.
No promises. But like the start of the Long Halloween, we're going to talk about Batman number 142, written by Chip Zdarsky, pencils by Giuseppe Camuncoli and Andrea Sorrentino. Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah. Hell
yeah. Stefano Nisi and Sorrentino again on inks. Another hell yeah, please.
Hell yeah.
Alejandro Sanchez and Dave Stewart on colors. Lettering from Clayton Coles. And the cover came by way of Camuncoli, Nisi, and Tomu Mori. So this is the Joker year 1. I believe it's part 1 of 3. And that's exactly what we have here. It's Ace Chemicals, it's Red Hood. We even get acknowledgement of the 3 Jokers, definitely. So I really think that's going to be good when we get back to it. It does a couple of things, this issue does. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because I really think anybody that is a Batman or a Joker fan should really read this book to see if you like it. I'm telling you. But anyway, it starts out with Batman, and I'm assuming that it's current crazy Zer Batman. Has the Joker and is doing an autopsy on him. Pulls a capsule made out of Red Hood masks, 2 of them the size of a pill. Then it's a trip through the Joker's mind. There's a lot of competition in there. He has to stop himself from laughing and making jokes at literally everything, and he has to do it all of the time. He's fearless and a coward. He doesn't feel pain, but he's tired of being hurt and is deathly scared of being hurt by Batman. And it's the whole world going on around the Joker while all of this is happening. And it ends with one hell of a what comes next. This isn't just a little different. This is, at least I think, easy to, it's like an easy to digest form of going through the Joker's mind. And I like the way that they did it. Especially with the back and forth from Sorrentino's art and then Kevin Coley and Nisi's team. I'm really impressed with this. And I would even say that, at least in this issue, a person could pick it up and read it without having to be invested in the current run. That's a huge plus. If they can get a person into a current writer, let's get some of those returning comic fans, right? I mean, if you can't tell already, I love this title right now, and this issue is nearly perfect. Literally, I gave it a 9.5 out of 10.
I mean, just more to that credit, it has already completely sold out and is due for a second release.
Yeah.
This issue. Yeah.
It's insanely good.
That's the power of the Joker.
That's the power of Andrea Sorrentino.
Yeah.
I wish that was true, but
yeah.
I wish it was just that.
Yeah,
not just
but
Joker.
You know, casual fans will see, a Joker story year one, and they'll pick it up.
Well,
they won't care about the creative team. They'll see Joker.
But they'll see
I
the
liked
art
the
and
movie in
they'll lose their
2019.
mind.
Now, look, anybody that is a Joker fan is going to be a Sorrentino fan because of the work that they've done previously on Joker. It's just, oh my God, I love the Joker drawn that way so much.
Yeah.
And I would love to see a Killer Croc story.
What was that?
There's so many Sorrentino characters I would love to see.
What was the black label? Was it Smile Killer?
Yes,
or
Smile
Killer Smile, something like that.
Killer Smile.
No, Killer Smile.
Yeah. I think it was Killer Smile. Yeah.
Yep. But so good. I loved it. And I love it here. Yeah. 100%. 9.5 out of 10.
Right
End
on.
Story.
The only flack I can give this issue is what I can only assume were time jumps, and they don't really tell you. Like, I'm not looking for a year, just like tell me where the jumps are, because it's really jarring to be reading something and then there's something else happening altogether and you just don't know where the fuck you are. Obviously there was stuff with the past, but then there was stuff that may or may not have been in the future with Batman and what ended up with the world is all Joker, and it was confusing to really piece together what the hell was really going on.
Now, for me, I think that the first page with the autopsy and all of that, I think that was present day, and the rest of it, I believe, was in the past, including the whole world being ran over by Jokers. The only thing that I think it's, and the one thing that makes me think that you might be right, and perhaps I'm completely off here, or maybe Zdarsky is mashing together a bit of a timeline, but he talks about Duke being out there and being infected.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what really got me on it's from the future, because it's certainly not in the past.
Yeah.
At least not the past of year one, anyway. Yeah, as a Joker story,
future state, future Joker.
Oh God!
Didn't they do a Future State Joker? I think.
Yeah.
I was not reading Future State Gotham at that point.
Oh man, I got magistrate fatigue really weird, so bad.
Yeah.
I read everything. Oh shit! I never want to hear that word magistrate ever again.
All I remember is Rob said there was some point in the story where they jumped the shark, and that told me everything I needed to know. So I did not.
The whole fucking thing.
I don't even remember what that was.
Yeah.
The whole thing was one giant shark jump. It really was. It really was. Some of them had fantastic art, though, man. And a couple of them were good stories. But really, I mean, it was a gigantic shark jump. And let's be honest, folks, that shark, it was not very big.
No, it was not. All right, so as far as Joker stories go, it was really good. Art, really good. Keeping up with overall continuity, fucking amazing. Not only does he link it to 0 year, but also year 1, and also 3 Jokers. Like it's wild the connections Chip made in just one issue to so many different stories. And some of the art was better than the rest of the issue. Like I'm thinking of like the art throughout was amazing, but that one panel where they had Joker strapped to the machine.
Oh God!
And the like the Jesus on the cross style, that panel was fantastic.
I mean, Sorrentino stuff
so
is usually
fucking
great, but that was
detailed.
like, I think
That was
maybe it was the
top-notch.
coloring or something, but it really looked like it
Yeah,
leveled up for a second there.
It did, yeah, it really popped.
Fucking AJ Styles looked at it and went, "Now that's phenomenal."
Wow. He looked at Joker's arm and said, "Hey, that's a phenomenal forearm." No.
Yes.
No more jokes. Okay. Yeah, so apart from the weird time jumps, I'm assuming our time jumps, that was the only jarring thing for the issue for me. I'm still giving it a 9 out of 10. I'm excited to see where this goes. I did hear this was a weekly story arc, though.
I think
weekly, really.
But
at least for the next
seeing it
3
next
weeks
week's
or something.
releases.
I believe it also. Yeah, it's also out next week.
Oh, okay.
I don't have to wait a month for this.
No.
Yeah,
you get all 3 parts in 1 month.
That's insane, and it fits. It fits so well.
Yeah. Also, like what really also threw me off at the beginning was I thought this was spinning out of the end of last issue where Joker and Bruce were in prison together, and Joker was telling him the story of his past and this connection to Zur-En-Arrh and Failsafe and all that.
No, the way I take it, that's possessed Batman. Zur-En-Arrh possessed Batman, and he's doing an autopsy on the Joker that he just killed. At the very, very first.
No, yeah, at the very beginning. Yeah. But I mean, like, I thought this story arc itself was going to be spinning out of the end of last issue.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but it didn't start with that. That's what really confused me as well. But still, 9 out of 10, just solid stuff.
Solid. What did you think, Brandon?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have all that much to add outside of everything that's already been said. I mean, you don't need me to sing the praises of Andrea Sorrentino more than I already have. Anyone who's read Gideon Falls and Green Arrow knows this dude is shit, and he's really like showing off here. Like maybe a little too much, almost to the point where it's like I'm not a huge fan of Giuseppe Camuncoli. I think his stuff has been getting better lately, but generally it's never for me. But I don't know. It's just like when you have Camuncoli, and it's fine in this issue, like it works next to some of Sorrentino's art. It's like they knew what they were doing, where it's almost embarrassing how different the levels are between these two, at least for me. So it's almost like you didn't have to go that hard. You could have phoned it in a little bit. But no, aside from that, like I'm definitely interested, and I see where the confusion might be in terms of timelines and everything. Is this in the future? Is this some kind of weird alternate past? It has to be some kind of future because this is clearly an older Bruce, but it's just not clear. But it's interesting at least, and it's sufficiently mysterious where I'm not put off. I'm interested to see what happens next. So, yeah, no, I gave this an 8.5 out of 10. I'm definitely invested to see where part 2 is going to go.
Right on. Sorrentino on Green Arrow, that was Lemire's run, right?
Yes, and it's the fucking best.
Yeah,
it's good, man.
Yeah, but yeah, it is seriously like one of the best Green Arrow runs ever.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon, tell me who it is that I'm thinking about. I'm going to tell you a name. It's the wrong name, and I need you to tell me what the right one is.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Good luck.
Stefan Sedgwick?
Stefan Sayek.
Sayek, yeah.
Sayek. Yes.
I want to see. I don't actually know.
I'm not sure.
I always say Stefan, yeah.
So you know who I'm talking about.
Yes,
then.
yeah.
I need to see a draw off between them, Andrea Sorrentino, and Liam Sharp. I just like.
Ooh,
Oh, damn.
cool.
Damn. I might
need to
automatically be
see-
going for Liam Sharp, but
I need to see. Well,
I don't know.
That's
a
your
really tough
highest.
one.
Well, I feel like to answer your question, it has to be a specific thing. Like it can't just be draw anything. Like each of them has to be told to, I don't know, draw like, I don't know, like draw Green Lantern fighting an alien or something. That's the only thing I can think of right now. And each of them has to come up with a
Lantern-
different way to do it.
Green Lantern fighting a dragon.
I think Liam Sharp already did that.
Oh yeah, in the Green Lantern issue where he's on like
Yeah.
Athmore or whatever it's called.
Yeah. All right, Athmora
shit.
was amazing.
Yes.
I was in love
Oh,
with that world.
well then, you know what I want to see them do? I want to see them have Arthur and Jackson fighting the trench in Zebel. So it'll be bright and shiny and horror at the same time.
I would love to see Sorrentino draw Aquaman.
Oh God, yes. Either any of
I just
those
wanna see
three.
what that would look like.
Anybody, please.
Oh man. I don't know if you ever read well, I think we covered it, but do you remember the Aquaman Andromeda book from
Of
Ron
course.
V and Christian Ward?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
really
like Christian Ward on the book. Don't get me wrong. That worked very well. But now all I can think about is like if they'd gotten Sorrentino to do that book and really,
It would have
really
been
leaned
so
in,
much
that would have
better.
been so good. Oh,
That would have
man.
been fantastic. So I have
Stephen or Liam Sharp either. I'm
Yes.
just they're all just beautiful, beautiful artists, man.
I have a not necessarily a counter, but I'll say a counter to your draw off roster. My preferred draw off roster to see who could draw the best image between Mike Deodato Jr., Frank Miller, and John Romita
Yeah.
Jr.
What are you trying
let's
to
not
do to
get
me?
mean.
Who said me?
This
I'm
is-
not. I just want to see who would draw the best.
This dude's just like, what are the three worst artists I could say without saying Riley Rossman?
Yeah, I was really waiting for that.
The sad part is I thought of Frank Miller and JR, and I was trying to think of a third one, and the first one that popped in my mind was Riley Rosmo, but that's just gonna put Josh off.
Yeah.
He's just gonna go on a tirade.
But you would still
Those-
watch
those-
it.
I can't. Ugh. No.
Riley would win anyway. Don't worry.
It's true. By a
I
mile.
dislike
That's
Frank
true.
Miller's art almost as much as I dislike Riley Rosmo's for different reasons. But yeah, I
long as it's for
dislike Frank
different
Miller's art
reasons.
for so much. So much.
Yeah.
It's okay to have bad tastes. You won't be disgraced.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Bad art. And then like he came up with a semi-cool idea, put a horrible Robin in it, and then took way too much acid and finished the series.
Riley Rosmo?
No, Frank Miller.
I know what you're
You
trying to
guys-
say
you guys
about the
think-
Dark Knight Returns, but you're
Oh my
crazy.
god. And then what, the Golden Child?
We
Did
don't
you
talk
read
about the
that?
third one.
Yeah, those
We
don't
don't
count.
talk about
We
DK3.
don't talk about those.
Look, Dark Knight Returns could be the most mediocre Batman story ever, but Carrie Kelly was definitely the best Robin.
And
There's a lie. He left.
And
You made him so mad.
I thought I was going to get kicked out.
he said no.
Oh, what the fuck?
Well, now you're just being silly.
Oh shit, that was
Oh, that's
all
funny.
right.
All right.
All right.
So let's move on to our next book. Anybody got a transition for me?
Do I have a transition for you, Captain? No, not at
Well,
all.
you both have been very childish, and the only child that we should be concerned with right now is Billy Batson.
And family.
I don't know. I think
Beautifully.
Josh said the magic word right away. All right, it is Shazam number 8. Thank you, gentlemen, for the perfect segues. So we are here, Shazam number 8. This is written by Mark Waid and Goran Suzuka. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Colors from Ivy Svorcina.
You really just got screwed with the credits this week.
And letters from Troy Pateri. Thank you for having a name I can pronounce. Sorry, so not written, so storytellers. Mark Waid and Goran Suzuka. I imagine Goran Suzuka is the artist, but obviously helped with the story beats. Main cover by Dan Mora.
Many people would say it's only half a story without the art.
Exactly. Yeah. And there is definitely some storytelling in a lot of this art as well, with just facial expressions alone. So it definitely lends credence to that idea. So picking up where we left off last issue, the Captain and Black Adam had a fight that demolished I was going to say Batson home, but Billy's adopted home, leaving his family homeless and practically penniless, since they now have no home to sell to buy their new home, which was going to be amazing. And despite this issue being called the Captain versus Black Adam Part 2, they don't really do much more fighting beyond the first couple of pages, where they yell at each other a little bit about whose fault this is. And as Black Adam realizes it's actually Billy's house, he flies away and says, my state is none of your concern. We will speak no more of this. Bye, asshole. Then Billy turns to the dinosaurs, says, no one cares about your paperwork. You can fuck off.
He yells it
pretty much right in their face. And this is when Mr. Dinosaur pokes his head out of the Rock of Eternity when he sees a doorway appear, but realizes this is actually the doorway that's supposed to go back to the Batson home, into Billy's closet, but there's no house there, and all he's doing now.
Hell did the closet go?
Yeah. Now all he can do is watch his dinosaur compatriots talk to Billy and Tawny Tiger.
Can I just say the panel of Mr. Dinosaur peeking out of the Rock of Eternity window, looking down on the two dinosaur auditors with their pathetically small pistols facing at the Captain is like the perfect out of context panel. And if you send that to someone without telling them at all what this issue is about, it would be perfect to see their reaction.
Even with the dialogue alone, it says, "Give me my honor, give me my tiger."
It's like, I just want to send that to someone with no context and be like, what the
there is actually a subreddit called Out of Context Comics. I might just post that, because that is really well done. Right, so Billy's able to rescue Tawny. The dinosaurs give up and say, okay, fine, we will go, but you have one Ungorx to deliver the auditor, or consequences will be felt planet-wide. And if you're wondering what an Ungorx is, you find out in a couple of pages that an Ungorx is roughly 58 minutes.
Not what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like 3 hours. Something like that. Yeah, but 58 minutes, that's fair. So Billy rushes off, knowing what he has to do next. He goes to his family and trying to use the whose courage is it? Achilles?
Yes.
Courage of Achilles, to tell his family what happened to their home. But obviously, Daddy's not happy, wants to talk to Billy directly, so he's forced to go back into Billy. And as his dad reveals that with no home, the foster agency is going to learn about this eventually and might just take all of you kids away. So Billy didn't just wreck the home, he wrecked the family. Good job, Billy. Josh, what is it you always used to say? Oh, Billy.
Oh yes. Oh, Billy.
Meanwhile,
that's appropriate here.
It is very appropriate. So meanwhile, on the dinosaur spaceship, which suspiciously looks like the Enterprise. I think that was
a little bit, doesn't it?
It's just very much
a little on the nose.
Yeah, a little too much, complete with the red shirts on the ship.
Right.
The Ungorx is almost up, and the Admiral is prepping for weapons and charges to be blown up across the earth, but one of the ensigns asks if they could just give the hairless ape just one last chance. So they deploy all sorts of pamphlets across the entire planet, threatening destruction of the planet if that auditor dinosaur is not given to the dinosaurs. So Billy decides he can't let this happen. He's got to figure this out. So he reverts back to the captain, asks Darla for her help, despite the fact that she doesn't want to, says, look, it's a matter of life and death. The whole world needs your help, please. So he grabs Auditor Dinosaur and Darla, heads to the spaceship, and says, you can have your Auditor, but first my sister wants to ask you some questions. And the questions are, why do you have to take away Mr. Dinosaur Man? And why?
Really,
Over.
just one question,
And over
and over
and
Very-
over.
Why? Typical
Why?
child
And
question.
that bought Billy some time to go to the Rock of Eternity, talk to Zeus, and plead for some help. But Zeus, still pissed off about what happened in the first arc, refuses to assist. But this is when Black Adam arrives, and quite surprisingly, I might add, and uses his own kind of pull as a godlike being, at least as he believes himself to be, to also plead with Zeus.
Kind of shames him.
Yeah, like, yeah, you're a god and you're just gonna let people like ignore you? No. So
Petty squabbles.
exactly. So Black Adam begins to talk some sense into Zeus, but as they continue to have their conversation, Billy says he has to go away to save his sister. So he heads back to the ship as the auditors, not the dinosaur general, is just done with everything. Literally is done with life. He asks one of his crewmen to kill him. He's just too many fucking wise.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's
Right?
dead inside.
Yep. He's
So-
the inexperienced uncle.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I can't. I fucked up. I signed up for this. I
Yeah.
didn't know what I was getting into.
You
Kill me,
gotta find a
please.
way to get around the wise.
Good luck.
Yeah, it's not easy. I've done it too many fucking times. Right, so Billy arrives as the captain and takes Darla and now Mr. Dinosaur away, as the general's just like, hey, fuck it, we'll fill out any form we have to do, just get us the hell out of here. So he heads back to the remainder of his home and finds that the home is back. It is standing. Zeus was able to actually help out thanks to Black Adam. And not only that, made the house ever so slightly bigger, and also took away the memories of all the neighbors, so nobody realizes that there was ever a destruction in the first place. Then we have two epilogues. Part one, the Royal Palace of Kahndaq. Billy visits Black Adam, thanks him for his help, and says, I owe you one. And as Adam says, there is no debt, simply as responsibility. I helped out. But if you strike me again, it will be the last time. And that's when Billy flies off. And then in the second epilogue, Tawny is cooking dinner for the family as they're pleading for it, and getting a little rowdy, as Tawny is looking for a seasoning to put in the food he's making, but he can't find it. So he decides to just head off and give the children their food anyway, as we see three eyes in the cupboard looking out, and they're all sideways. Next, the Creeper. And if that's like the Creeper or they're talking about the thing in the cupboard, I don't know. I'm hoping both, to be honest with you. Yeah,
You
it's
can't
very well
have
done.
something in the comics called the Creeper and not have it be the Creeper. If that ends up being what happens, it gets an automatic 2.
I didn't know you
Even
were
if the
such a
story's
big fan
fantastic.
of the Creeper.
Yeah.
It's Tom Taylor's fault. That's why DC Unkillables number 3 is my comic.
Because Jack Ryder's in it.
Because Jack Ryder dies in it after Tom Taylor wrote him so fucking good, he made me fall in love with the Creeper.
That's how you fell in love with the Creeper?
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. And
Wow.
then he killed him.
I mean, to be fair, Tom Taylor did write Jack Ryder so fucking well.
Yeah.
I guess the Creeper, he wasn't Jack Ryder, he was the Creeper.
Yeah, but so
Yeah.
goddamn good.
You will never have a Creeper like that again. Just be warned.
I'm a tree lobster for life.
Right on. All right, so for this issue, I quite enjoyed it. The story arc wrapped up quite neatly, and you get teases for the next story arcs. A nice little 2-issue adventure with Black Adam. Can't complain. It's not a 6-issue banger, so I'm okay with that. I don't mind.
It
In fact,
doesn't really
sometimes I
need to be at
prefer.
this point. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm.
Sometimes I prefer smaller issue story arcs. I
Yeah.
don't need or necessarily even care about 6-issue like story arcs. They're just too long sometimes. Like a 2-issue arc is perfect for me. I love that. So this really went well with me. I really enjoyed it. The art was awesome. The story was fun. Darla was fantastic. So many out of context panels that will just have non-readers go, "What the fuck is this book?" 8.75 out of 10. Solid issue.
Yeah, no, I gave this 8.5, much for the same reasons as you. It's just fun 2-issue arc, not taking itself too seriously, has a nice, I guess, moment of maturity for Billy in that he is able to find a solution and use his influence as the captain to eventually get away to get the house back and also annoy the shit out of some dinosaurs. I don't know. How can you not love that? So it's a good issue.
Yeah. Any book that fleshes out the cosmic world of DC, even so slightly, I like it.
Mm.
So you were a fan of Justice League Odyssey then?
I'm working towards it. It remains to be seen if anything that happened in Justice League Odyssey actually meant anything.
Yep.
Or actually sticks around.
Yep.
Including all of those planets that came back in No Justice. They kind of just disappeared.
Feels like the only thing that stuck around from Justice League Odyssey was Joshua Williamson.
Oh boy.
Everything else went the way of the dodo, and he didn't even finish the damn book. Fucking jerk. But as far as Brandon, did we get your score?
Yeah, no, I said 8.5.
8.5. Well, I gave it a 2. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, in this issue, basically rundown, Shazam was able to save Mr. Dino the Auditor, get his house rebuilt, develop a crappy relationship with Black Adam, show Zeus get a little bit of respect for Zeus, and get in touch with his Shazam powers better. And then the Creeper shows up. I do wonder where that's going. Before I go on, I will say that I don't think I've seen the Creeper since deceased, and I love that character so much. I really hope that Wade does him justice. So I haven't really been a fan of this run at all in any way, shape, or form. Haven't hit it. While I've always enjoyed the art, nearly all of it, it didn't feel like a Shazam story to me, and I know that I'm gonna get a lot of whats, but it felt like an imitation Shazam story. It felt empty, but this last issue was really good. It wrapped everything up, basically no loose ends at all. It was nice and tidy and done well. I can definitely appreciate that. Plus, it hit on little details like the foster agency finding out about the house being gone. That helps out a lot too. I would say that this is easily the best issue that Wade has done since he started on World's Finest. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
I can definitely agree with that. It might be the best issue Wade has done since World's Finest, with the exception of World's Finest number 9.
Wait, which one was that?
The date issue.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Wait, was that 9 or was that 11?
I honestly can't remember either. It might be 11.
I think it's 12.
I was hoping that if you were going to say that there was one that was better, that it was going to be composite Superman Batman, but no.
Oh, that was just one panel. It wasn't the whole issue.
I know, but that's the only
and
thing.
I got Nezha fatigue.
Well, that's just because we went straight into the whole Lazarus Planet thing after Batman and Robin. It was just too much, too fast.
The only good thing about Nezha was the connections to Monkey King or Monkey Prince.
That is definitely fair enough, but I did suffer my fair share of toxicity from that. Speaking of which, we'll head on over to Poison Ivy number 19.
Lazarus toxicity? No.
Yes. Written by G. Willow Wilson, Marcio Takara back on the art, colors from Arif Prianto as always, letters from the guy that has become my favorite letterer, Hassan Atsmani Al-How. He's just super clean, and a cover by the wonderfully talented Jessica Fong. So we're at the Secret Origin of Pamela Isley, part 1 of 3. That's what this is. We all pretty much know how Ivy got her powers, her traditional origin story. This takes it back a bit younger, and it gives us a much more detailed look. It's Pam in college as an undergraduate in the same class as Alec Holland, Swamp Thing, by the way, and her teacher is, of course, Jason Woodrue. He likes her, she likes him. I wonder where this is going. So his goal is basically the class he's teaching is, you guessed it, pretty much making chimeras, mixing animals with other stuff, his end goal being plants. But of course, he can't get the approval. It does a really, really good job of painting a picture of the kind of manipulative prick Woodrow was. He separated Pamela from the rest of the class, from her friends, made her his special student, started hooking up.
We all know what that means.
Right. Then brings her into his secret lab that he's funding with money that he stole from the university, and then sends her out to do illegal shit that he's not risking, just her going out stealing shit. Again, manipulative prick. Illegal, like robbing the university's lab, where of course a guard sees her. She starts running while she's thinking about how this could kind of be her thing. And then the issue's over with. I think it was fantastic. I think Wilson did such an amazing job in doing exactly what she set out to do. Takara made it all look amazing. The art nearly told nearly as much of the story as the writing did. It was all done so good. When I say Wilson setting out to do accomplishing what she set out to do, I mean she did. She wanted to show, somebody. What's the right word there? I guess just being taken advantage of. I don't want to say mind controlled, but definitely
manipulated. Definitely
manipulated. Yeah, I said it twice. Why didn't I think of it the third time? All right. But yeah. So 9.5. No lie, this was fucking beautiful.
What did I give Birds? I think I gave Birds of Prey a 9 out of 10, and I'm very tempted to give you a 9 out of 10 too, because I know everyone was like, "We're already getting Joker 1. Do we need Poison Ivy year 1, like another origin story?" But I think the thing that I can appreciate about this is it's pretty well established that Ivy's origin is very closely tied to Woodrow. She was friends with Holland, like all those are familiar hallmarks, but what makes this work differently is how it's told, very much so, or very much done well and differently by G. Will Wilson, which is what makes the story, at least for me, all that much more interesting, because again, all these things are familiar. You've seen them before in various Secret Origins iterations, but this one is I think told probably superbly. I would say superbly, yes, by G. Will Wilson.
Absolutely.
And I like the running thing for me that has kept this series interesting has always been Wilson's voice for Poison Ivy, which is continuously just been a really interesting take. And I think that's even better here, where she's reflecting on how she used to be, and definitely how she recognized that, like, oh, I was in this like whirlwind romance with Woodrue, but even I could tell something was wrong. Like, you get these seeds of who Ivy will eventually become even early on, and all that stuff works so well. So
it really does.
I don't know. I think I'll give it a 9 out of 10 too. I really did like it, but I didn't want it to tie with Birds of Prey, because then I'm going to have to do a tie when we do our top 3. That's going to be hard. So I don't know. It's hard, but fuck it. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. It was a great issue. What can I say?
What can you say?
I could probably say a lot more, but I won't, in the interest of time.
Yeah, I almost forgot to read this. I read it on the way home today. I thought I had read it Tuesday, and then I realized today I hadn't. It
Dude, when Poison Ivy comes out, it's the first fucking book I read because it puts me in a better mood when approaching the rest of them.
Yeah. I do like to save best for last, and this I'm not going to say was the best, but it was really good. And I really enjoyed it. It is also like Brandon said, is kind of funny. We had the juxtaposition of Poison Ivy year 1 and Joker year 1 technically in the same week, but I'm not against it. Like this is doing its own thing. It is kind of rehashing the story we have already seen with Jason Woodrue and Alec Holland and whatnot in the past in college, but we're getting a bit more of it this time. And I'm very curious to see like how deep this is going to go and what it could reveal for future stories. Also kind of annoying that we're getting this after the bomb reveal at the end of last issue where Woodrue as Floronic Man just burst out of Ivy's chest like a fucking facehugger alien. So I was looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So this,
I mean, obviously,
is a little
this is in
disappointing.
place.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is taking place right now because you're right. Whatever we're going to see happen in the past over the course of these next 2 issues is definitely going to be affecting the story from going forward. But
yeah,
good stuff, man.
Yeah, no, honestly, really good. The art, fantastic. Happy to have the team together again. I don't even know what else to say.
Josh,
it was pretty cut and dry issue.
I'm interested to hear what you might think about this, but based on the way we got this, I'm trying to find the right way to say it. Based on the way this issue depicted Linda Holland and to a lesser extent Alec Holland, would you be interested in a Swamp Thing year 1 by G. Willow Wilson?
Ooh.
Oh fuck yes!
Let's go.
Oh my god!
Because I was thinking about that the whole time. I was like, she clearly has this interest in Linda, and I'm like, shit, man. If you were to let her do like a Swamp Thing mini or something, I'd love to see like an exploration of the Holland relationship before and leading up to and eventually after Alec becomes the Swamp Thing.
Yeah,
done by G. Willow.
If you would have asked me to pick somebody that's a current talent at DC to write a fucking Swamp Thing year 1, I mean, I wouldn't have even taken a breath. I would have said ground feet. But G. Willow Wilson is fucking perfect.
I want to see.
I mean, like
so
literally perfect.
Yeah.
That's a perfect pick for a year 1 Swamp Thing.
All right, knock on wood. We put it out there. Now we just wait for DC to do it.
Is it just a coincidence that the best book featuring every plant-based character in DC is written by somebody whose name is Willow?
Whoa.
Such a comedian you are.
I'm not even joking. Like, that's oddly... like, I'm thinking there's something there.
She's a plant?
I don't know. We still don't know what G stands for.
Glorious. We decided that.
I mean, that's what we decided. What does it really stand for?
Doesn't matter.
Glorious Willow Wilson.
Glorious Willow Wilson.
Yeah. As for this issue, though, I will give it an 8.5 out of 10.
8.5. You rascally dog, you.
Nice.
How dare I? All right, so with that, we have finished our books for the week. This concludes our weekly conversations. Now, moving on to... I won't sound like a robot anymore. Top 3 and favorite moment if you had one.
Oh boy, mine was hard. Mine was hard as hell.
Yeah.
But
because I'm still finalizing mine.
Because I don't do ties, Birds of Prey came in at a 9.25. Okay, cool. That gets number 3. This was the hard part. Second place is going to go to Poison Ivy, which was a near perfect book. But only because Batman had Sorrentino. Honestly, though, these two issues were ultimately really similar, and I fucking love both of them so much because while they were both year ones, they were totally different kinds of stories, and just so fucking good. So Batman gets number one.
Right.
My favorite moment, it's gonna be in Batman when I got to see Joker with a full fucking beard.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. It was
Nope.
honestly a little
that was a
uncomfortable
twist.
at first.
My second favorite isn't actually going to be a part of a book, but it's the advertisement on the Sinister Sons down there in the corner
Right.
that says "Meet
Nice.
the deadliest nepo babies in the galaxy."
Oh, God.
Oh, that is like, I don't know who wrote that fucking tagline, but
It's
they
got to be
need
Tomasi.
it better be a Christmas bonus involved in for that shit, because that was just that's solid. That's gold right there.
Oh,
man.
you're saying it's better than Bad, Mad, and Angry at Dad?
Yeah. Yes, actually. Yes. The deadliest nepo babies in the galaxy. That is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden I want to see them fight the Guardians of the Galaxy.
That would be awesome.
It would
Like
be so
I
cool.
know that series is not on anyone's most wanted list of the year, but I am so stoked for that book. I might be the only one in the world.
We'll have to see. I am a Tomasi fan through and through. I really enjoy his work. I like La Fuente. So far, the lead ups into it. What's his name? Korg
Or Sin
Korg,
Sun,
yeah.
if you prefer.
Yeah. I think I like Korg. I am not sold in any way, shape, or form on Lore Zod or whatever.
Lore Zod,
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, we're gonna have to see. I'm sure Tomasi can do something for me.
Yeah, we haven't seen Tomasi write Lore Zod yet, I think.
No, I don't think so.
Unless he did it in Action Comics, I could be mistaken.
Yeah, or Superman, I can't remember.
So yeah, somewhere along that line. But yeah, like this is going to be a very different Lore Zod than we've seen, I imagine, especially paired up with Sin Sun.
Fingers crossed, man.
Yeah. But like when you think of Tomasi's two best books off the top of your head, you think of Super Sons and Green Lantern Corps, right? Or is that just
no? I think of Super Sun. I think of Batman and Robin and Superman. Hugh Simpleton. Actually,
ooh, going the name calling now. Well,
yes,
actually, okay, I don't see Tomasi Superman with an omnibus. Okay,
actually, it does. Maybe if you looked on Amazon.com, you might see one.
Tomasi Superman has an omnibus.
It does. It's the Superman by Peter J. Tomasi, and Pat Gleason omnibus.
Shit, I'm pretty sure his Batman and Robin has one too, doesn't it?
You should study your facts a little bit more.
Push-up classes. Light glare. Don't mess with me, bitch.
You're not on my level.
How dare I mess with the librarian? Oh
god. Tomasi's Green Lantern Corps is also excellent. I'm not even gonna rank them, put them in competition. I'm just being an uber nerd.
I think my favorite Tomasi is when he writes Detective.
Interesting. Like Detective Comics?
I did enjoy that run too, but it's not top Tomasi for me, but I did really enjoy it.
It had its arcs, but I don't know. I think it fell off towards the end. But I think that was just because
did with Francis Manapul. Joker's daughter was in it. There was a
that's the one where he had like the team, wasn't it?
Harvey was leading
Clayface, and
that's part of the super heavy shit. I mean, it's not the super heavy, it's like super heavy adjacent, I think.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed that.
It was part of Rebirth, I'm pretty sure.
I enjoyed the hell out of it.
I think it was post super heavy, wasn't it? Because it started with the renumbering.
Francis Manapul. Hold on.
I'm not sure which book you're talking
Comics,
about.
Detective Comics 41 through 47.
Yeah, that's the. I
Oh.
think that's part of that's like super heavy adjacent stuff.
Yeah,
It's
that is super
focused
heavy
on Jim
adjacent.
Gordon. Yeah, that's.
And it was good.
Okay, then who
He said,
who did the stuff at, like post Rebirth when it went back to original numbering?
James Tynion.
That's it.
That run is
trash.
Still one of my favorites.
It's trash.
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 No,
I
that
thought
run
the
is
story
great.
you were
What the
saying was
hell?
good.
Yeah, that's the whole oh my god.
That's the
why
one
am
I was talking about this whole time.
Yeah, no, that's the whole Knights of Gotham thing.
Yeah.
Or Gotham Knights.
Yeah. And then oh Jesus Christ. Don't even get me started. It was like a domino train of dog shit. And
I don't know what you're talking about.
We have to do a deep dive on Tiny and Detective Comics to figure out what the fuck it is you hate about it.
Like, that run was
no
great.
clue.
Yeah, that was like that, and Hal and Pals were consistently the
Yeah.
top-rated Rebirth books.
It had some of the best Tim Drake moments ever.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I read
that's
what
like
is it?
literally the only
Lonely-
thing that was great about it.
Cass and Clayface.
Cass was great. It had that great arc with Zatanna and Azrael.
Azrael was cool
That was
again.
great. Yeah.
The stuff with Batwoman.
It had oh my god, it had like one of my favorite single issues of the Bat Family ever, 975, The Trial of Batwoman.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
It's like that run is
Trial of Batman was good.
The Trial of Batwoman. Not
That's
Batwoman.
what I
And
meant.
It was only one arc or one issue.
It was good. Yes, I won't.
After she supposedly killed Clayface.
Supposedly,
yeah.
Didn't though.
No. Well, they gave Clayface a happy ending, kind of.
And then he went on to do even better with the Dark Designer and all of that wonderful shit.
Well, that's a whole other thing. But the detective stuff was
not
good.
even detective. That's
the detective stuff
Batman
was good.
series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have a lot of love for that run. That was like that was my
good.
shit in freshman year of high school.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't my shit in freshman year of high school. It was my shit post high school, but still.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. I was 20.
Shit freshman year of high school would have been what, like the Infinite Crisis era?
Yeah. Yeah, like
close
Green Lantern Rebirth. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. I hope I make you feel irritated.
I
was trying to put a timeline on it.
Help Josh feel even older.
Oh God.
What was in your freshman year of high school, Josh? Like
in my freshman year of high school?
Crisis?
Nightfall. Because you're 1978, right?
1979.
Okay, yeah.
Not Crisis.
So that's like 1994, 1993.
Yeah. So
92, I was in ninth grade.
Oh, yeah.
Death of Superman, Nightfall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hustling and busting ass so I could buy every single fucking issue.
Yeah.
By the time we get
Image,
my freshman year, they were already doing 25th anniversary editions of the Death of Superman.
Yeah.
So let that sink in.
Oh, I have, my friend, many a time.
Yikes.
I read the shit out of that. I was reading the shit out of so much. All the Carnage stuff at that time I was reading. Adventures of Captain America, that was great. So many fucking Image comics and Wildstorm. I even want to say I was reading some Top Cow back then.
Oh wow.
Yeah, well, Top Cow would have been actually. I don't know when the whole like imprint started. Yeah, but I know like Cyberforce probably would have started by then, and maybe The Darkness. You'd have to correct me on the timeline, but I think that's like
fucking Darkness, dude.
early to mid 90s. Yeah. I'm sure. I'm shocked we haven't talked about that before.
Oh God, I loved it. I loved the hell out of the stories, dude. I thought they were fantastic. The Darkness, and then I was also a sucker for Witchblade.
Well, I figured with like the design and the costumes and the whole tone and everything, that's like right up your alley.
This was like, and completely fucking mind blowing at the time.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like I'm gonna pick up fucking Nightfall, and then I'm gonna pick up something fucking Jim Lee's doing it. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
You're telling me one day Jim Lee could be doing Batman? What?
No way.
Right. Never in a million years would I have ever seen that coming.
Well, that's why it's like I can't imagine what it must have been like back in '92, where you're like Jim Lee, like the X-Men guy. Like you think of X-Men, this is him, and then all of a sudden he's got this whole new book of different characters who may or may not be ripoffs of X-Men characters. But anyway, the intention is different. Like, oh, we're doing our whole different thing. Like that's crazy. Never would have imagined it.
Yeah.
Nope. But it was awesome because it was like, these are great X-Men stories. I mean, not X-Men stories.
Like, there's always that age-old question: if you could time travel to any period and just tell somebody something, like for me, it would be go back to 1993 and tell Josh that Jim Lee will one day draw Batman.
I would not believe you.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have to bring a copy of Hush, and you'd be like, "This isn't real. This is fake."
You're like, "Fuck you, no way."
You're what northeastern accent?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah,
bring out that northern Yankee. Talk through my nose a little bit.
Just brushing the edges of Canadian.
Yep. Just barely.
Yeah. All right. So top threes though. Which Brandon and I haven't done it yet. Okay. Brandon.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go, but
I can go. I thought you were ready.
Go for it.
Okay. For me, ready? Number 3, I will do Shazam number 8. Number 2, I'm really torn between. Oh no, number 3 was torn between Batman 142 and Kneel Before Zod number 2, but I'm kind of pushing more toward Kneel Before Zod, believe it or not.
The ending was very interesting.
Yes,
that last fucking page was. I went, whoa,
yeah,
that surprised me. So we'll see what issue 3 brings.
And it's tying into what's going on in DC Cosmic right now, and it's building that world out a little bit more. So, like I said earlier, if it's building on DC Cosmic, I'm stoked. So I got Kneel Before Zod number 3, Shazam at number 2, and Birds of Prey number 6 at number 1. With favorite moments, I think might just go to Diana and Barda working together to hold the jar. Just gave me a bit of nostalgia.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, for my top 3,
hold on. I gotta ask you guys a question. You ever hear like you hear somebody say something and it takes you back to something, it reminds you of it, and like then that's all you can hear? Like every single time since that song came out, when I hear "Are You Ready," I instantly think of "Sexy Back."
Are you ready?
Yeah, you ready? Yeah. Every single fucking time. I just had to let that out. Can't. If you ever hear me doing it, that's why.
Like that doesn't happen for me with that word or that line, but like I know what you mean. This happened to me for some other stuff.
I'm stuck on it forever.
Oh, it's gonna be sitting in your head for the rest of the night.
It's there forever. It's been like 15 fucking years. You ready?
Oh man. Okay. My top 3. Yes. I'll do my best. Number 3, I have Batman 142. Number 2, I put Poison Ivy number 19, but just barely beating it out. I had to give it to Birds of Prey number 6. It was just a great issue. But my favorite moment of this week is going to be a safe one. It's going to be Sorrentino's depiction of Joker, like on that crossbeam or whatever it is, just laid out. It's just so gorgeous. It's a very easy choice, but I just loved it.
That was definitely going to be one of my favorite moments, but
yeah,
I figured one of y'all was going to pick that one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, absolutely fucking gorgeous artwork, but yeah, dude, seeing Joker with the fucking full beard, that was done so well.
I was not expecting that. It's almost uncomfortable.
God, now I've got to go read the Cull.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, what in the fuck is this? Brandon, what is Black Cloak?
Oh, that's the Kelly Thompson book. Another Kelly Thompson book.
Oh, Jesus, I've got to read this. Who is drawing that?
Meredith McLaren.
Meredith McLaren can fucking draw.
Yeah, no, she's great. And she colors the stuff too. And it's like just phenomenal.
Wow.
But they did another book together, Heart in a Box, that was like this somewhat supernatural story about like basically losing your heart and finding pieces of it again. It's a weird story, but I really liked it.
Putting it in a box?
Yeah, but Black Cloak is great. I would definitely recommend that. I think you'd really like it too. It's got like a lot of interesting, fantastical elements.
All right, Black Cloak and the Cull, and damn it, hold on, Black Cloak and the Cull and Fantastic Four, and
Ultimate Spider-Man,
Ultimate Black Panther,
Ultimate X-Men.
Oh shit!
Which that comes out in March, so you have time.
Ultimate Black Panther. Don't let me forget about the Momoko stuff.
Oh, definitely.
I don't know if it's been confirmed yet, but I think there is an Ultimate series coming up from.
Yeah, they've kind of teased it.
Yeah, in the Free Comic Book Day issue.
Yeah. I'm not getting.
Which
I know
it's
4 books
is
is a
big,
bit, but yeah.
No, all right. So I've got that, but wait, hold on, Fantastic Four.
I still have to read Cobra.
But yeah, that's not happening. I can't. Joshua Williamson is too Joshua Williamson in this shit.
Oh,
but
at least Transformers.
If I'm reading this, then y'all have to start reading Thundercats.
I will give it a shot.
I will try. I'll read the first issue at least. I know nothing about Thundercats, and
you didn't know anything about Transformers or G.I. Joe either.
That's true. That's fair. So I'll give it a shot. I like Declan Shalvey.
Open your horizons, man.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of stuff that people don't generally know about the Thundercats, and they make sure that they hit it here. Like, a lot of people don't know that Lion-O is actually the same age, well, just like a year or two older than Wily Kit and Wily Cat.
Can I just say, and please don't leave in a fit,
Brandon's going to say the same thing I'm thinking.
Okay,
right now.
Here's the thing. Like, I didn't know a lot about Transformers, but I was willing to give it a shot because I'm like, this looks cool, and I love Daniel Warren Johnson. And same thing with G.I. Joe, because there's stuff that I can be like, yeah, this is interesting. But don't get mad. It's just of the pictures I've seen, Thundercats to me has always just looked like kind of lame. That's all. Okay, well, I knew that was gonna happen. I'm sorry.
That's not what I was.
I will give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. I promise. But it just
Thundercats is cool. You got to stick with it. You have to. I've done this for you guys now. I did this shit through Tom King books, no less.
Yeah, I want Grayson another shot. I think we could do this.
I want you to read Thundercats.
One issue. I promise.
No,
He's like, no, I'm not letting you off without any less than 6 issues.
I want to say 5, but I'm gonna say 3.
All right,
give it 3 issues.
I can give you 3 issues.
Thundercats, ho, motherfuckers!
I will say the main cover does look very cool. They look less lame than in other depictions I've seen.
They're never lame. And Rob, you're doing it too. Yes,
I will definitely, yeah. Like I'm reading enough 90s and 80s kids TV show comics right now that I can add one more.
Thundercats, it is, baby.
Yeah. Thundercats was never my
Fantastic.
jam either, but neither was G.I. Joe, and I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
Thundercats is awesome, and all y'all are wrong. Anybody that thinks Thundercats sucks is wrong. I'm just putting that out there.
I have a question, though.
The cartoon for me when I was a kid. It was
Look,
like,
I'm a child of
when
the
that shit went off the air, bro.
That was not my time. If this was like a reboot of Ben 10 or something, I would be all over it. But
unfortunately, there's
I
no
fucking love
like
Ben 10. My kids watched
reminiscent
that
comic
first
books
season.
of Brandon's childhood cartoons.
Unfortunately, but I'm sure it's
There's
coming.
no, like,
I don't
shit
want
ton
that
of Ben
though.
10 comic books.
Oh yeah, no, I know that. I'm just I
currently.
don't want
no like reminiscent. There's no like like gritty like new style version.
I don't want to get to that point, because when we get to that point, that's when I can actually start feeling old, and I don't want it.
Well,
actually, there is actually a very gritty online SpongeBob comic called The Bikini Bottom Horror, and it is fantastic.
Isn't
the great? I gotta send it to you.
Isn't the most recent incarnation of Ben 10 a little more mature?
No,
yeah,
it was.
I mean, not like rated mature, but like a little more
Justice League animated mature.
Yeah. I think you're thinking of like the Alien Force Ultimate Alien era, where he's a teenager now, and the stories are a little bit more mature. But yeah, it's like Rob said, it's like Justice League Unlimited mature. It has slightly more violent depictions of fights, but nothing crazy.
You still gotta sell the toys.
Yeah, you still gotta. Kids still have to be able to watch this with their parents.
Yeah, it's shows like that though that really like leave a mark on a child and make you go, damn, that was some deep shit.
I need you guys to like this comic book.
I will read it. I promise you. I will read it and
we'll definitely give it a
issues
shot.
2 and 3.
I need you guys to like it so much that you recommend it to other people, and I need everyone else out there listening to it to do the same. I know we are a DC Comics podcast, but there's no way in hell I'm ever getting a Thundercats movie if this comic book doesn't do well.
Josh is like, I'm not leaving until you guys are Thundercats radicalized. Otherwise, I'm out.
Radicalized.
I'm done.
Yeah. I was like, I am convinced that I was able to make it through my heart issues the other night just so I could read Thundercats. I am not going anywhere. I have waited too long.
It was like, I'm not done with you yet until you read this series. We need you for that.
In its entirety. Right? Universe out there in its entirety.
Well, I'm looking at the preview now, and I like the art, so it's got me there. But we'll see if I can. I will complete it. I can't say I like it, but I'll complete it. Maybe I will like it. Who knows?
Yeah.
There's only one way to find out.
Exactly. Yep. All right.
Well, I guess that's it, huh?
Yeah. We'll let it go for now. So everybody, thanks for joining us. This has been the Geek Matrix DC Comics Review Show podcast. I forgot to number it at the beginning, but I'm sure you'll see it in the title. So we're getting out of here. So you have to as well. Stay frosty, and as always, in the Geek Matrix, you are not alone. In the Geek Matrix, everybody has a home. I think I did that backwards, but whatever. All right.
It don't matter. Just get the gist of it.
Exactly.
We don't hate on anybody but people who hate. Somewhere around here, I can end the studio. There we are.